right, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
My name is Vahid Chitsaz, part of the Elite Mastermind group. Welcome to our show. How are you?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for having me. Thank you. I
Awesome,
love what
awesome.
you guys are doing. It's such an important message to spread, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you. I mean, your Instagram is blowing up. I mean, you're doing so much. You're putting me to shame. So I need to be part of yours. You need to hire me. I want to come work over there. I even work for free. How's that?
Well,
You
all you
guys are
do is
like
direct
killing
your
it.
mind with that intention and set your intention, and you can do it. That's it. That's what it's about, right?
Where are you guys located?
So the company's based in Columbus, Ohio, but me, I'm always on the road. I'm traveling. I actually am a resident of Miami, Florida, and then I also live in California and LA. So I'm kind of everywhere.
That is awesome. We are based in LA. We work out of LA. We live in LA. So for us, we're not going anywhere. We're just in LA.
Nice.
So
Okay.
we're right here. So let's dive into it, Don. Thinking Go Rich, Napoleon Hill's philosophies and principles.
Absolutely.
How did you get started, and how are you utilizing it today?
Wow. So I've been an entrepreneur now for 18 years. Really out of college, been an entrepreneur full time. And I got my hands on this book from a mentor when I was like 24 years old. And, you know, at first, of course, the language that he speaks, that he writes in is not like everyday language that we use now with our vernacular. So I had to definitely get used to that in the beginning. But really digging deep into that book, it exposed me and helped me to understand just how powerful your thoughts are. That's not something that we, I'm a Black American, so that's not something that we're really grown up being taught. It's primarily pray to God, ask God for help, and wait around for God's help, or just pray and pray and pray and pray. But really, you have the control to direct your destiny in whatever outcome you desire, because it's about where you direct your mind. And once I really read that, and I've read the book probably 15 times, and I listened to the audio book with the complete teachings of Napoleon Hill on Audible. So shout out to Audible. But anytime I'm just on a plane or, I just need to hear something reassuring, I play it. And it's funny because no matter what I'm going through, when I play it, something's relevant to what I'm going through right there. And the message is always super on point. One that resonates with me right now is about a quote. I pulled it up because I can't remember the quotes exactly. I just remember the principles. And it says, one of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. And that is, because the
Well, it says temporary defeat and perhaps failure. So he covers both. He says temporary and perhaps some failure. So it covers both sides where a lot of people.
And perhaps some failure. Perhaps it didn't work out. But what happens is in this journey as an entrepreneur, and this is what I'm just speaking from as an entrepreneur, there's so many failures. There's so many temporary defeats or permanent where it just does not work out. But it's for a reason, because that wasn't the route for you. But if you keep the vision in mind and really control and direct to whatever outcome you desire. And that's what I always tell myself. Just think about what you want, visualize it. He talks about writing it down and just knowing it so well. So now at the point in my life now, after putting this into practice for about 15 years, it's just to the point where I just rely on the vision. The vision is so clear that when I think about my vision, it's like a memory. It's so clear that it's like it already happened.
I agree with that 100%. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, on the age of it, I think it was like 12 years ago when I read those, and that comes from like the first 10, 15 pages of the book, and that's the end of the 3 feet from gold, the story, and it tells you the most logical thing to do is to quit. Yes. So a lot of logical thinking individuals are the first in line to quit. So that resonated with me so much that I took that, and that was my primary Facebook quote on the right side. It's still there today for like, I want to say 12 years. I might have to go back and check it. It might be 11, it might be 12 years. It's been there for a long, long time. And I think if individuals, they just understand that concept, their journey would be much easier, because now they know temporary defeat and failure is part of the success journey. But let me ask you another question. Out of the principles, which principle are you using the most, or which principle helped you the most so far on your journey?
I mean, definitely what has helped me the most is just what I refer to again. You have the power to control and direct your mind to whatever outcome you desire, and staying focused on that vision and the magnetism of the mind. Like, this is what really got me understanding the power of our brain, because it's not just like, at first it seems like it's rah rah, get excited, get pumped up, get hyped, stay focused, just do it. But it's really, really scientific. It's really a real manifestation ability that is innately in us as beings, that we have this real power. And I think he was just so far ahead of his time. And another one that I reference a lot in my life is when he talks about the single most important decision you make as an entrepreneur is your spouse. And
Oh,
talking
that's a
about,
big one.
yes,
That's
and
a
talking
big one.
about powerful men, and in my case, women, channeling your highly sexual energy into a way that's very productive. Talks about how great men, and I'll say myself, women, are typically, very highly sexual individuals or highly driven individuals. But if you can channel that and focus in, you can have so much greater results. So I always tell my, male mentees, take that energy that you're chasing women and chase the check, and chase your
If they
dreams.
would do the same amount of chasing, they chase their vision, they'll all be billionaires. That's it. That's how
Building,
powerful it is.
exactly.
But it
Building. It's
doesn't
not
mean you
even
can't have
chasing, it's
sex. It
building.
doesn't mean you don't have sex.
Correct.
It's there. You could balance it or channel it to where you want. So it's a topic that's hopefully my wife is not watching this, but
Definitely. But who you marry is so important, and then it talks about who you align yourself with. So, the people that I surround myself with, I've actually even ended relationships because I just felt like this was not, this decision is so important that I can't even risk making a mistake, being out of alignment with who I allow, around me and in my presence. So that is something that I learned from the book as well.
it's so fantastic because we got John on our lives over here. John Mallet, he actually talked about, you just said it. He talked about the decision also too. And you just mentioned decision too. So he's commenting over here. He's a
I'm
powerhouse.
still
And
single because, that's it's too much at risk to marry the wrong
so
person.
tell us about your mission. What's going on? I saw on your Instagram you guys achieved $270,000. Hey John, what's going on? So you guys achieved 270,000. What is that all about? What's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? And what are the type of individuals that you want to enroll in your program that you need help with? What can we do?
Absolutely. So thanks for bringing that up. Actually, I have a company called Popcom. We're an automated retail technology company. So we're a software company. We build software and hardware for self-service retail. I'm the CEO. We've been in business since 2013. We have raised over $1 million from venture capital investors and from angel investors. And we have several big customers like Procter & Gamble and Ulta Beauty and several others. But what I'm doing now is I believe in wealth creation in my community. And when I say community, I mean like-minded people, not just Black people. My community are like-minded people that we're on the same frequency and vibration at where we're going with our lives. So I wanted to have more like-minded people on my cap table, which is the list of people that are your investors. So I wanted to have more like-minded people. I want to help try to create more millionaires and just create more wealth in the community. So I opened up $1 million of shares in my company for the public through this sale that you mentioned. So on Start Engine, it's startengine.com/Popcom. People can now invest in my business as a shareholder for a minimum of $252. So it's a very regulated thing. It's not a program. I'm not selling a program. I'm allowing people to invest alongside major venture capitalists and angel investors and be a part of something that I'm doing. And right now we've raised almost $285,000. We have 14 days left. And after this round closes, then we'll go raise another 1.5 million from accredited investors. But it was important to me because we talk so much about manifestation, creating wealth, but we all know that there are some rules and restrictions that prevent some of us, because of our class, because of our income, to invest in certain things. So now that barrier has been removed. So now people can invest in Popcom, people can invest in so many other startup companies on these platforms.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So let me ask you a question. What is your driving force? What is your burning desire?
My burning desire, actually, what just makes me keep going, is to create a legacy and to open up doors for people in my community. Again, like-minded people. I believe that those of us who, I speak of as a Black woman first, but then again, my community, my what I call my soul community, of the source energy, the people that are manifesting things. We sometimes are, looked at like we're sensational, even though we know from reading Think and Grow Rich that the greatest minds in American history were following this. For some reason, they didn't want us to know. And as you probably know, they omitted several of the books from the mainstream version because they didn't want us to see the laws of success. They didn't want us to know all the information. So for me, it's continuing to be the light and continuing to be the change I want to see. That's what drives me. God moves through me. My manifestation abilities are like supercharged, to the point where I can make things happen almost immediately just by really directing my energy and my thoughts towards that internally. I don't even need a vision board. It's really repetition, visualizing it and just speaking it out loud and speaking it over my life.
That is awesome. That, as a matter of fact, in the past several years that I've been studying Think and Grow Rich, I noticed two of the main original pages are missing from many of the Think and Grow Rich versions that are out there. The first two pages are missing. So me and my team are putting it together where we could just make sure that whoever bought any type of book that says Think and Grow Rich, they could get those two pages also too. So now they got the complete version. But every time I say that, I get like 50 DMs. So I tell them, wait, I'm working on it. I'll send it out. There's so much other work that needs to be done, but I'm on it. I'm aware of it, and I am doing something about it. So we're definitely out there. So let me ask you a question. My last question. I know you're a busy woman. If you had to give two advice to brand new entrepreneurs, specifically to our female division, what would you say to those individuals, single moms, single parents, upcoming, 18 to 35-year-old female woman that wants to go and be a businesswoman? What is your suggestion to them?
My suggestion, really, what I always tell women when I talk to them is, don't doubt the unique abilities that make you female and the value that brings to business. A lot of times, women, especially in my generation, which, I'm older than the range you mentioned, but we work so hard to show we're equal to men, or we can do what men can do, or we can play on a playing field with someone else. But there's so many unique characteristics, insights, perspectives, ways that women bring to the table that we need to continue to highlight and not suppress. Also, everything you need is within you. That voice, there's a voice, Napoleon Hill calls it, oh God, what's he call it? I call it the source, but it's a word that he uses to call it, but really it's the voice within you that knows everything, the all-knowing, the all-seeing hand, or that directs your life.
I call it the crazy man. I call it the crazy man because most of the time he's telling me the negative stuff. So mine is called crazy man.
That's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay,
not the
cool.
Crazy man. There's a voice there, your source, the source that is you, that came into your body. Listen to it. It knows everything. Now, there is the crazy man. That's the bad person. That's not your source. That's fear. That's doubt. That's cultural influences. That's things you see in your human experience. But
that's neighborhood influences. That's your association. That's all of that stuff.
But that source has been here before your physical body was here, and it'll be here after you. Listen to that. It knows everything. Never second guess your first voice. That's something that my mom taught me as a child. And it goes by different names, but that voice in you, it knows. So women, men, everybody, follow that source, tap into it, tune in, turn on, tap into that, and really visualize what you want and see it so clearly to the point where I'll think, what does it smell like in the room when I'm doing this? What is the textures? What is the outside? Paint a real picture. Even when you think about your bank account, you know, how much money do you want down to the penny? Because that's how you do it, you know, that, and it really, really does work. And it is phenomenal. I'm so grateful. I'm 40 years old now, and I've seen this demonstrated in my life for 15 years consistently. It works. There's no doubt. It works.
I agree with that 100%.
Example
Are you,
of
are
it.
you,
It works.
what type of a men are you looking for? Or you're not in the market? So, because we got a lot of audience, and then they're going to say, she's single, Vahid. Why you didn't ask that question?
I'm single, but everything I need, it will come to me and attract to me at the right time. And that's it, you know. So yes, I'm single, but I'm very, like Napoleon Hill said, the most important decision you make as an entrepreneur is who you marry. It is not a game. It is not a joke. That person can make or break you. They could destroy you, or they could enhance you. And so, you know, when the time is right, you know, I'll do that. But in the meantime, I'm focusing on changing the world.
I hope I get invitation to the wedding. So that's all I care. I mean, as long as I'm invited, I'm cool. And try to make it in Los Angeles. So
that is hilarious. We'll have the whole mastermind group section at the wedding. How about that?
Hey, you know what? I ain't got nothing, no problem with that. We'll have a different room. They could party and we could mastermind on that. I'm okay with that. That will work. Don, I want to thank you for spending this time with us today. I know you're a busy woman, and hopefully we'll do this more often, because yes, I always want to get the female, the women entrepreneurs' feedback on how they see the world, and what are the trends, and how we can empower other people. And that's very unique, because not that many people are speaking about it. I know there are people that are talking, but I think we need a whole lot more. We need a whole entire new generation that is being empowered to be able to go for their full success or full potential that they could be.
And that's my burning desire, to help more people to be aware of the power they have within themselves, and really how you have the power to control and direct your mind to whatever outcome. The only limitations you have in your life are the ones that you set up. That's it. Only the ones you create. There's no other limitation. You can do anything that you can imagine can be done.
I agree with that 100%. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we get to do more.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.